Today has been a product of a lot of hard work and weeks of personal engagement. From the moment Hamas kidnapped these people, I, along with my team, have worked around the clock to secure their release. We saw the first results of this effort with the release of 2 American hostages in late October, followed by the release of 2 Israeli hostages. I've consistently pressed for a pause in the fighting for 2 reasons: to accelerate and expand humanitarian assistance going into Gaza, and 2, to facilitate the release of hostages. And over the past several weeks,
almost for no reason. They're laying off. This doesn't make the situation better. It worsens the situation. Even if it's just laying off somebody is very easy.
We have a 10 news about the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, assigned as DI. Continue watching this video, guys. We have a ton of information about this. Now, if you claim Social Security, you need to be aware of this. The top leaders and lawmakers are currently discussing the future of Social Security as more Americans struggle to pay bills. Advocates are pushing Congress to approve further relief checks. Republicans and Democrats are even pushing their own plans that they believe would improve Social Security. And now the new presidential candidate, Mike Pence, wasn't afraid to talk about this weekly political perilous choice for vice presidents and Social Security Medicare. Now he has faced an uphill battle in bringing the rest of the field into that conversation. An advocacy group of older Americans, the low-income older Americans, are getting hurt not only by inflation, but also from the end of the extra food stamp aid in March, which impacted 30 million people enrolled in the SNAP benefits. The worst hit of all groups were older Americans, with some experiencing a drop in benefits from $281 a month to as little as $23. Although inflation is ticking down from a peak a year ago, the costs are still ranked high as the budget category that risked increase the fastest over the past 12 months. Inflation is a top concern for all lawmakers, but it's especially burdensome for older Americans. It is why it's important for lawmakers to approve additional relief for seniors and retirees. A trio of bills aimed at cutting property taxes for New Jersey seniors have cleared committee with bipartisan support this week, and the bills introduced by the Assembly Speaker will cut property tax in half for seniors and expand eligibility to certain health benefit programs. The main bill defines the Stay in New Jersey plan as a proposal to address lowering tax costs for seniors to ensure that they stay in New Jersey instead of going to other states where the cost of living is cheaper.
today we're accelerating the implementation of the Dependent Care Flexibility Spending Account, which will give military families the option to receive a pre-tax benefit for daycare, preschool, and summer camps, and much more. This order also focuses on providing resources for military spouses or entrepreneurs, like some of the folks up here on the stage will be here in a moment. That includes exploring new funding options like grants and loans to help military spouses start and sustain their businesses, and developing new resources that are going to make it easier for entrepreneurs to relocate their businesses if they have to PCS.
Angus King are already caucusing with Democrats to begin their pitch on this big idea to save Social Security. The pitch goes to prevent and invest $500 billion over 5 years in one of the independent investment funds separate from Social Security. Now, the government actually have to borrow money to pay for scheduled benefits, and the fund will be managed independently for Congress, with the intention of preventing future political interference. Now, Cassidy concedes his plan only partially solves the solvency program. It does not address the tougher questions about raising taxes or the retirement age, but he said at a minimum, it would not raise taxes on seniors or affect anyone close to retirement. Cassidy and his staff have been working with lawmakers to get feedback and make changes as they go. There was a short window where Cassidy thought Biden might engage on Social Security after the midterms, but so far Joe Biden hasn't done anything to announce his plan to help Social Security beneficiaries. But back in April, more than 66 million people took home a benefit check from Social Security. Now, 50 million of which were retired workers. Among these retirees, close to 90% rely on a monthly payout to cover some portion of their monthly expenses. Whether you're already retired or have just earned the workforce, surveys consistently show that most Americans will lean on their Social Security payout in some capacity during the golden years. In other words, maximizing what you'll receive from the Social Security program is important. All told, more than half a dozen elements can impact what you bring home monthly or to keep from the benefit checks. As an example, Social Security benefits became taxable above certain income thresholds. Additionally, a dozen states tax and Social Security payouts to some varying degree. But so far, when whittled down to the basics, 4 components are ultimately responsible for determining Social Security. It's your work history and, of course, your retirement age. Folks, we got 10 news about the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SSI and SDI. Now, there's a ton of information that you guys definitely want to know about this. Continue watching. We have a lot of information about this.
Per month. This is, it's never happened before. And look, history's been made here. But it comes alongside the large...
To incomes of over 200 grand, while also having the wealthy pay taxes on the businesses and income investments as well. Polls have shown that raising Social Security payroll tax is a popular topic with the public. Yet the recent Senate hearing, some leaders and experts questioned what is the right approach to help people out with their American stimulus cash. But so far, Democrats' proposals would actually push the marginal tax rate to over 50%, and many would break Joe Biden's promise not to raise taxes on anyone making less than 400 grand. Even Grassley argued this. The next cost of living increase for Social Security recipients is projected to be slightly better than previously estimated, but still the lowest in years. The Senior Citizens League predicts that. And also, they have estimated that in mid-June 2024, COLAs could be somewhere around 2.7%, a huge drop-off from 2023's 8.7% increase. And the latest, slightly larger estimate comes despite cooling inflation, which generally has the opposite effect on social asset. And now, in Maine, all recipients of the SNAP program will have their monthly benefits delivered to them by today. SNAP benefits are distributed to eligible residents from the 10th to the 14th of every month, with all beneficiaries scheduled to have their benefits by the month of July by Friday. Now, the next round of SNAP payments will also begin on August 10th. The state of Texas will complete issuing SNAP benefits worth up to $1,700 for a month of July this week. Texas has a long window for issuing payments, lasting through the first 10 days in a month. Even the amount received depends on one family size. A single household will receive $281, and an 8-member household will receive $1,700. But on a federal level, some House representatives want to expand the number of food stamp recipients subject to work requirements and time-limited food benefits. By raising the age of people, members are writing the bill against the backdrop of extraordinary uncertainty in the economy and inflation, including the cost of food is so high that the Federal Reserve is willing to risk a recession to slow the prices down. Economic disruptions are caused by the crisis, and the robust labor market is expected to weaken in the months ahead. The past week, Democrats of the Department of Education announced that it will begin discharging student loan debts for borrowers who've been in repayment for 20 to 25 years under a one-time payment. Around 800,000 borrowers will benefit from this, and there will be $39 billion dropped. Joe Biden said the previous announcement is a one-time adjustment and will become an even more important lifeline for struggling borrowers than repayments start in September. The one-time payment adjustment the Education Department had counts certain months that were previously ineligible towards student loan forgiveness. But now, everybody, the Education Department announced a one-time payment adjustment for all direct loans and federally owned family education loans. Now, the adjustment to student loan accounts will go toward helping borrowers get closer to forgiveness under the income-driven plans. And after this adjustment, people should be getting stimulus payments because the one-time payment adjustment helps to reverse some of the damage caused by loan services that did not properly track deferments or steer borrowers to forbearance, instead of income-driven toward repayment payments, which would have continued toward years of payments. Some borrowers in the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program have already seen the payment adjustments in their accounts. So we know that's good.
State of West Virginia.